Hey guys, it's day 25 of the New Testament in 90 days. Today we are reading John chapter 7 through 9. So the thing that I wanted to share with you comes from John chapter 8. It is something that Jesus said as he was going around and he was preaching. It's not something that we have talked about necessarily yet, but it is so important. So Jesus says this in John 8 verse 31 and 32. He says, "You are truly my disciples if you remain faithful to my teachings, and you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." Now, the people respond in a way that I think everybody responds when they hear something like that, maybe for the first time. They say, "We're not slaves." Like, why do we need you to set us free? We're already free. And Jesus's response back to them is this. He says, "I tell you the truth, everyone who sins is a slave of sin." And then he repeats, "If the Son sets you free, you are truly free." And so I think it's really important for us to wrestle with this, because if there is a God, if he did create the world, and if the Bible actually is true, then whether we think we are free or not, Jesus says that we are slaves of sin. And even the word sin, like, what does that mean? And it feels very subjective. But sin is really anything that goes contrary to God's will and God's design. And so we need to know what that is. We need to figure out, have we done anything that goes contrary to God's will and God's design? And if we have, then we have sinned. And what Jesus says is that sin actually enslaves us. And so that could sound like, weird, wacky stuff. But we really, whether we think it's wacky or not, we have to come to terms with whether or not God is real and whether or not the Bible is true. Because if God is real and if the Bible is true, then we have to take this serious. Like, this is reality, whether we want to believe it or not. Does that make sense? And so I'm not saying you have to believe this. I'm saying I do. And for a long time I didn't. And the more I read this, the more I live my life and watch the world around me, the more true this book continues to be to me. And so I just think it's really important to consider, what if this is true? What if Jesus's words are true? What if we are sinners and that enslaves us, but Jesus came to free us? So something to consider for today. If you have any questions about that, I would love to chat with you more. Feel free to leave a comment or shoot me a private message. And we'll chat more tomorrow. There's more John 10 through 12. We're going to be chatting through tomorrow, more about things that Jesus said and the implications of that on us as people in our lives, even today. Even though this book is ancient, it has implications for us today. And so I love that we get to chat about that. So anyway, like I said, if you have any questions or comments, let me know. And if I don't hear from you today, I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.